Hey, it's Dan here, and we're about ready to start round two, a nice little swim, a little bit of sunshine. Haha, epic. Just hanging out at the Secret Garden. This is amazing. I'm having a great time. Thank you so much, Stephen and Miss Anonymous. So today I've got the coconut yogurt. You've seen me make this a few times. You've seen me make the coconut almond yogurt many times over the years. I don't think it can be made too much. I would love to see the entire world eating these yogurts. They're so beneficial. It's a daily habit for me now. It's a must. My girlfriend was like, you need to be eating that yogurt every day because it just chills me out, because like I said, it's all about the gut. And literally for a dude who's been a raw vegan for 15 years and a total health nut for 20, for me to be finally coming to the conclusion of what I eat and in what combinations and at what time and how much really affects my consciousness, whether or not I'm in a good mood or a bad mood, is quite profound. And over the last several months, I've been correlating it, looking at it, okay, Mr. Munchies, and then kind of craving boy or emotional eating boy, whatever. And then it's like, oh, you know, because you're eating down those things that you really need to be processing. So you're eating that down and you are, suppressing that when you really need to just let it go. And then when you get back into a good vibe, then you go have a celebration meal outside in the silence, chewing well, simple foods. So for me to be getting to this place now, it's like I wonder how many people don't know about this, since I've been fiercely, educating myself on what real health is. So now I'm working with the gut, and I was just having this experience, like I said, with my girlfriend, and she was just saw how chill I was, and then I started putting it together, and then I started to do the coconut yogurt experiment every day. And you know what? Ever since then, I've been just chilling. I'm like, I need this every day, coconut yogurt. Because you take the yogurt, you blend it, you culturize it, and then these billions of microorganisms become trillions. And then you see, because how they just, once they get moisturized, and then they start to proliferate, and they need a little bit of something to start chewing on, and then they start breaking that down and pre-digesting it for you. The coconut yogurt is the cleanest, purest medicine. And I figured out, that's why I wanted to share this video, because I figured out how to make it faster. I used to just make it and then put it right into the fridge. Well, it would take like a week or two to culture. Now I leave it on the counter for 24 hours first, with the lid not tightly on, and once I see it start to squeeze out the top, I know I put the lid on, I licked a little bit off there, rinse it, put it in the fridge, and wait another 24 hours, and then it's legit. So now, because I had to figure out, like, I can't wait 2 weeks every time for it to get that ripe, rich effervescence. So now 24 hours on the counter, another 24 hours in the fridge, and that's how I've been getting all these different yogurts: hemp seeds, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, all these different macadamia nut yogurt, off the hook. Macadamia nut yogurt is off the hook. Half coconut, half macadamia nut. My favorite of all time, though, and the most medicinal and the easily digestible, it's like, it digests like fruit. So when you get these fats like this, water-soluble saturated fats, now you're talking about something, because then it doesn't block you up. It's so easily digestible. And again, like I said, with these yogurts, you're inoculating your mouth, your esophagus, your stomach, your small intestine, and your large intestine, and everything in between. And you're just creating an environment where the beneficial can really start to do their job. They're like, oh, thank you. And then when this becomes a daily habit, you just get strong and vigorous and balanced and stable. And that's why I'm going to continue to keep on the habit here with the coconut yogurts. I have infinite coconuts. I drink 5 or 10 a day, and I got all this meat. It'd be foolish to waste. Now everyone wants to buy the coconut yogurt, and I can't even possibly keep up with the demand. And I pretty much, I can't even keep up with my own demand. So I'd have to hire like 2 or 3 people to help me to bust coconuts to do all this in order to turn it into a business. So I don't think I'll do that. I want to encourage you to make it yourself at home. So you get the young Thai coconuts, unless you're on one of the islands or you're in somewhere else in, you know, Thailand, or you're in Mexico and you have these, the big green ones. If not, and you're in the US or you're in the UK, just go to the Asian market and get nice cold refrigerated Thai coconuts. Learn to bust those open. There's a lot of different videos online. You pop the top, you peel the meat with the coconut buddy, you clean it off really well, and you get yourself a high-speed blender. If you don't have a high-speed blender, you will burn it out. So get a Vitamix, get a Blendtec, and today I have a variety assortment of different levels of meat. I've got some really soft, tender meat, and that makes great yogurt. But then, and I've also got some medium meat here, and I've also got some really mature meat as well. And we're gonna have a nice, and I've never really had a chance to do this, so this is kind of an experiment for me. I'm always learning, and I'm so stoked to be doing that. Because a lot of times, you know, I used to think that when I was on YouTube, I had to have all the answers, you know? And now I can admit to everyone, I don't know anything, but I love to continue to learn, and I will share everything with you as I go. So now I'm taking, that was a little bit more of the mature meat here, you see? Oh, that's the more mature meat. That's really good for your teeth. This is the more middle of the road. And then, like I said, the real flimsy stuff is the really young. You want some? I'll give you a nice, here's a little bit more of that mature stuff I was telling you about. That is just so good. Yeah, it's really good. It's just, so good. The coconut is gotta be, I mean, there's no pesticides, no GMO, high water, essential fats, proteins, carbohydrates.
Stem cells.
Never even heard about that. Electrolytes, hydration, everything, and just growing prolifically year round, and just then from, you know, from baby all the way to sprouty. You know what I mean? It's just, it's amazing cycle process. Have you ever had sprouty? A sprouted coconut? No. Oh, when the little cotton candy inside? Oh no. My God. Wow, I'll have to bring you one. They're just little cotton candy balls in the middle. You want some more? Oh, you like. So good. Cool, so this is a nice good sized batch. You don't want to overload it. This is a little bit more than usual. I usually keep it another inch or two lower just so that it doesn't get overloaded. It's going to be more than one jar today, but I just wanted to use it all up. Of course, I could have saved some, but I'm going to just make plain hemp seed yogurt, and that's off the hook. And then so it's 2 cups of meat and 2 cups of water, depending on how thick you want it. And then I usually blend it.
Water?
What's that?
The water from the coconut?
Yeah, exactly. So it's just pure coconut, culturized with these probiotics, which just start going in there and breaking everything down. And so it just creates this effervescent, fizzy medicine that just goes to all and just coats everything. Leaky gut, inflammation, irritable bowel syndrome. The leaky gut is just the pathogenic bacteria have found these little pockets, and they're living in there in an anaerobic state, and they're eating off all the excessive junk foods and stuff like that, or they've been mitigated by all the different vaccines and all the antibiotics and all the medicines and all the poisons that are killing the healthy microorganisms. And then they're pooping a very acidic waste, and it's just burning holes into your GI tract. And it's also the same thing with cortisol while you're stressed out and eating. It is not wise to eat while stressed. You will be burning holes in your gut. Trust me, I know. So there's a lot going on, and it's estimated that about 50% of the people have a leaky type gut. I'm thinking that it's a little bit more. You want to really tighten up your guts, and one way that you do that is juice fasting, water fasting. Until that time though, this is an amazing anti-inflammatory medicine for your whole entire gut. So people with leaky gut, like I said, all those inflammatory diseases, because the food is wrong, okay? I'll just say it like it is. All the food, 95% of it is just wrong. And we need to get back to organic fruits, vegetables, berries, herbs, nuts and seeds. You know what I mean? There's some other things that I am on the vegan diet. There's a Couple little things with all the animal products in moderation. I can see it fitting in way more naturally than I can the grains. I'm not really here to be political or to have any type of box that I live in. I'm here to help everyone. So my message is just more fresh fruits and vegetables, and then utilizing whatever tools you need to make this thing work for you. So I'm going to blend this up. It takes a minute. I don't edit, so join me for a moment of blending. Silence. Off the hook. Perfect. I got it down to a science. Watch this. It's going to thicken up. It's going to thicken up real good. Let it sit. I like to blend it first before I put the probiotics in. It's not like these blades these are so microscopically small, the blades can't even cut them in half. Can't hurt the little living organisms. Keep it entertaining, and then you pop the bubble, but you turn it down, and then boom, boom, the air comes up from down here, pop, pop, and then you hit it again. This is how you make the yogurt, all day, every day, baby. Turn it back down, let the bubbles come up, hit it again. Turn it down, let the bubbles come up. You're working it, you know, you're working your blender, but if you overload it, especially with the nuts, then you'll burn your blender out. The coconut meat's a little easier to work with, but if you've got the nuts, you can't make a full blender full of yogurt. You got to do half batches with any kind of nuts and seeds, macadamia, sunflower, sesame, whatever. Hemp seed's a little easier too though, because it's a bit softer. You want to make sure you don't want to burn up your blender. You will burn up a cheap blender though doing this, so you have to get a better blender. See, I know it's like this lifestyle is expensive, but you know what? It really isn't. What is expensive is the hospital, $10,000 a day, just for one round of antibiotics. $10,000 a day, 3 days, 500 specialists, the toe specialist, nose specialist, teeth specialist, eye specialist. Look, I got a bacterial infection. I've been stressed out lately. Just give me one round of antibiotics. I can go home. You know, you got to go through this whole rigmarole. And I'm glad I went through it, but it's like a little prison. I'm like, can I have some real food? No. Can I leave? No. You know, I mean, I could have left, but I was so confused because the bacterial infection was such an inflammation, but it's like, these viruses pass on. They're injected into your mom. They come into you. It's a whole big racket, and it's a real scandalous deal, man. And you don't want to let your immune system get down. You have to cultivate health in this world. Okay, that's for real. I mean, you have to be responsible and take care of yourself. 1 teaspoon is all it takes. I put a couple, just because I just always do more than I need to. And then you hit it again, and voila. So I'll just hit it real quick just to get the probiotics spread nice and thin through there. And it's not as creamy as I can get it. It had a little bit of that thicker meat if I wanted to go another couple minutes, but for the sake of the video, you know, we had a good time there in that moment of silence, which didn't last very long. Dan McDonald. The word generator. So now we've got, it's delicious just like it is right there, but what you want to do is take, like I said, the billions of microorganisms and turn them into trillions. That's how you stretch your money out with these probiotics. You can just get a little 2-ouncer and it'll last you a few months if you want to play that game. Me, I chew it at night. I put a mouthful in. You know, I haven't had any cavities ever since I've been taking the probiotics. Boom. You know what I mean? So that's another good way because that mitigates. You have to make sure you're having healthy. Oh, no. No, you don't get to drink anything. You think you're trying to get some of this. You can have the leftovers. But I got to show you how to do the rest of the process here. You're trying to just drink some yogurt like that. I see how you are. So this is you take a nice wide mouth jar, or a small mouth is fine, but wide mouth works better for the yogurts. And you just, boom, there's gonna be plenty left over for you all to snack. I go right up to the bottom of the rim, and then what I'll do is drop that lid, and I just, to make sure that no little buggy bugs, I do it a little bit, but I don't go all the way airtight. I keep it so that it can breathe. And then I set it up somewhere at room temperature. If you live in, Arizona and it's 95 degrees, it might only be like 6 hours before you want to refrigerate. But my indicator is when it starts seeping out the edge. It's dripping out the edge or whatever. I'll come home and it'll be a little pile of it'll be right here on the side. I know it's done. I take it, then I cinch it off. I put it in the fridge for another 24 hours, and then I pull it out, and I'm stoked out of my mind. It's the medicine that I need, and I just eat it plain by itself. But one of the greatest ways, blueberries. But this is just get your kids on this. Watch what happens. Get your kids on this. It's a little bit of a process. I realized it took me about 15 minutes to peel the coconuts, and it was about, I peeled about, I think that was about like 6 coconuts of all various different, some of them were real thin and some of them were thick, to get about a batch and a half of yogurt. So there's no real way to tell. You just keep, it takes about 3 young Thai coconuts. That can be anywhere from $1 to $3 a piece. Invest in your health, because if you don't, you're going to wish you had. If you invest your money now, today, in organic foods, colonics, massages, taking vacations away from all the things that you're normally used to get away from the stress, just take care of yourself and invest in your health. I invest all my money into health. I don't have anything. I don't want anything else. I just buy really cool supplements, and I don't even buy that many of those, really, spirulina or whatever. And I just go support the farmers, and I just buy organic produce, and I make juice. And it's amazing, and I help as many people as I can around me in all the different ways, teaching and sharing and getting excited and giving away coconuts and whatever it is that I can do to be generous. But with myself, it's like, what else is there to invest in except your own being? You can get how many TVs do you need? You know what I mean? And A to B, it's like, yes, there's a $10,000 car, and then there's an $80,000 car. How long do you want to be paying payments or whatever, and how much insurance? And part of my personal message is to simplify. This whole consumerism thing, I see it. I'm like, okay, dude, you have consumerism. Go buy some cilantro. And we're just consumers, but simplification is amazing. If you can get your outgo to be like 10% of what your income is, which anyone can do that pretty much. I can't, that's a pretty bold statement, but I'm saying you definitely want your outgo and lifestyle to be less than you want it to be less than your income. And that's what we've got going, is that people are spending more than they have, and it's a subconscious thing. So you need to change your blueprint, simplify your life, and learn to enjoy, like, wait a minute, a day at the beach, resting up, listening to the water is really way better than all these other things that I can do to spend money, to stay distracted and overspend myself so that I'm the slave to the grind. The economic slavery is a deep program, and that is definitely part of my message, is getting free from that. You know what I mean? It's just simplify everything, simplify your life. Let's give this amazing stuff here, and I think we're going to have a very happy little lady. Yeah, and then I think that's good for that video. I want to kind of keep that one short, whatever it was, 10, 15 minutes. But anyways, that's the coconut almond yogurt. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I think I got it, yeah, and then about 48 hours, you'll just have the medicine. And, the honest to God truth is, you might think it's nuts, but I got down to about half. At first, I was eating the whole jar for a meal.
Oh, wow.
But then I just got to a place where I was adding like bananas. So I'd have like 3 bananas and maybe a half a jar of yogurt. And that was just like a meal. That would be what I have for dinner. You can make a million different dressings that are so off the hook, it's crazy. I'll give you one right now, just in case for your dinner meal. You can take some mixed greens and have that for a salad, wherever your salad is. But then you take this, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of sea salt, some dill, a little bit of lemon, and that's a cool ranch dressing that is off the hook. So that's just one idea. There's hundreds more recipes that you can do, but this, I just love it plain, because I love simple things. I get a real joy out of simplicity. I've been eating papayas for dinner every night for the last 3 nights, and it's just so perfect, so satisfying. But when you try to fulfill your emptiness with food, it's never enough. So you have to just get back to getting back and engaged into something else that's meaningful other than just eating. And I ain't perfect, nowhere near. I'm talking to myself here to really learn to appreciate simplicity, eat what I need, and step away from the table so that I don't lose the breath, that I don't lose the light, because when you get bogged down on Thanksgiving, you're sluggish for a couple of days, and it's not worth it. You're missing too much life that way. So just hopefully you can pick up on what I'm trying to send out here, and it can sink in, and it can be a blessing to you. So thank you. Amen.